Is one of your dreams to stand on a TEDx stage when they were cheering your name? Na, 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 na. Next up in the lineup, it's you. Woohoo! And then you come on, you stand on that red dot, you do your 12 to 18 minutes, and that is your moment. If that is your dream, congratulations. It's a beautiful red dot on the horizon. But if that's your definition of what a stage is, then we're really limiting ourselves. And on this transformational ride, on this magical journey, I'm going to open up for you. We're going to do that together, what a stage really is. And you're going to understand there's 3 different levels of getting on stages. And that every single time you up-level yourself, you're creating more magic, you're creating more impact, and you have more income generating opportunities for yourself. In other words, monetize your speaking engagement. Are you up for that? I mean, doesn't sound that exciting? I'm really stoked because you deserve the income, and I'm so keen to get DMs from you sharing the testimonials that you got from inspiring people. And you will not only be the only person who is going to DM me, but there's also other people who are DMing me currently, and those are people who would love to do a TEDx. And since I am a TEDx speaker coach, which basically means that I select and pick the right speakers from somewhere, and then I help them to get their killer keynote, to shine on stage, and to have that 12 to 18 minutes of fame where they worked so hard on. Okay? And again, that is one way to do it. And if that is your only definition of what a stage is, what we said, we're really limiting ourselves. So the 3 different levels that we're going to talk about are the 3 different levels of speakers. Do you remember them? Have you heard them before? The first level of speakers is what I call educational and informational speakers. You might want to write it down. The first level of speakers are educational or informational speakers. Speakers who mostly tell facts. Now, what we talked about, or what you might hear for the first time now, is that this is absolutely amazing, because the worst thing is that you have knowledge inside that's not that you don't share right now, right? There's potential within you. When shared, there's a transformation, but when you keep it for yourself, there's nothing going on. So even though there's more impactful ways to communicate, it's amazing when you already share what you have. Then the second level is what we call motivational or inspirational speakers. Motivational or inspirational speakers. The one where you understand what they're saying, but you also feel this ignited energy inside of you, this boost of momentum where you're like, I'm going to make the decision, I'm going to go for it. It's amazing because transformation will be created through energy, right? We need energy in order for us to transform or change. So it's really important, but it's not always sustainable because we don't always have that motivation like 1 week, 1 month, 1 year after that speaking engagement. Real third level, transformational speakers. Real transformational speakers don't only tell facts, don't only ignite through energy, but also help people recognize it from the inside out, that this is something they don't only want to do, they don't only have to do, they must do it now. So those 3 levels of speakers all have their own way of looking at what a stage really is. So let's go for the TEDx example, and later on we're going to really dive into every single level, because just with speaking, we need them all. We cannot transform without educating, without facts. We cannot transform without the energy, without motivation, right? So we need them all. We just build on each other. Level 1 builds on level 2. Because you have that solid foundation, level 3 can go above that. And the same with applying to stages. I'm going to share magical ways where you're going to get speaking engagements that you didn't even know that were possible, but we need to put in the work as well. So just a quick summary of what those 3 levels, how they look at how to get a stage or what they believe and perceive a stage is following, okay? So the first level, the educational and informational speakers, they really know that a stage is a place where they stand on this thing and then they share their message with others. And how you get on such a stage is really by looking for opportunities and applying to them. So let's use the TEDx for example again. So an informational or educational speaker would look on the TEDx website. And by the way, we will give you some resources as well, like where you can find speaking engagement and how you can apply for them. They will go to the website, they look at what are the TEDx's that are opening up. How can I best apply? And then they're gonna think along, like, what's gonna be my tagline? What is going to be my body? What will be my through line? And they're gonna write it down. They send the application, and they send a lot of applications, and some will come back and say, congratulations, you got it. Which is amazing, because the more you send out, the more you will get back and the more momentum you gain. I think this is an amazing place to start and really get your reps in a very low risk place, right? There's ways to get on podcasts also, however, we will dive into that later. Second stage is a little bit more magical, a little bit more transformative, and that's what we call the inspirational or motivational speakers. And those kind of speakers already start to see, wait, a stage is just not this one place that I apply for. It's actually something I can create, right? I can create my own event where I can speak as a speaker. Or I can actually reach out to some friends who already have communities and say, listen, I have an amazing transformational journey, an amazing story, and I would love to share that for your audience. And they start to create speaking opportunities. They know it's not this one big thing where you just apply to, but it's actually something that you can create. And through synergy, through collaboration, there's more and more and more. It's more, let's just say the first level is more reactive. You wait for someone else to ask you. And then the second level is more like anticipation. You go out there and create different opportunities. Also with this, we will dive deeper into that. The third level is where I truly believe the magic happens. And that's where you start to recognize that there are stages all around you that you might not have recognized before as a stage because you limited your definition of what a stage really is. But you start to realize that a stage is nothing more than sharing your message wherever you go. And that public speaking is not something that just happens on this big plateau where people are sitting to you, listening to you, sitting and writing notes. But it's moments in time where you find yourself speaking to multiple people at the same time and you're able to deliver a true transformation in that moment. And once we open that lens of what a stage really is, there are so many more opportunities. Impacts start to happen everywhere all the time. It's not this one big moment that we work towards, but it's all these small moments, and out of all those small moments, magic happens. Because transformational speakers don't only recognize that stages are actually everywhere, but they also magnetize stages and hosts coming to them, asking them to get on stage. And you're going to hear specific stories and strategies in all 3 levels when we dive deeper into them. Really understanding that there are people out there who are asked to do a TEDx and how you can get there too, just by understanding these different principles. What I do want you to understand though, is we cannot have transformation without motivation. We cannot have motivation without information. So it's really about understanding all of them, knowing when to apply them, and going all in on all of them. We just want to develop them all and not just focus on one. Does that make sense? Isn't it exciting that this is going to be a magical way where you are going to understand how to increase, let's just say explode the level of impact that you're having on this world, and also that you're going to do it strategically, so you are going to earn money with it as well. So everybody wins. So let's dive into the first level.